Our series continues on health challenges, and the health challenge that we're talking about today is athletic recovery. You see some of the phrases on here. If you watched our video from yesterday on gout, you see some of the same phrases: oxidative stress, inflammation, pain. And when we talk about athletic recovery, some of these same things are occurring in our body. Athletic recovery, when somebody works out, especially if they're an elite athlete, it's almost like they overuse their body. They just break down muscles when they're working out to get stronger. Overuse joints sometimes, whether it's a pitcher that's throwing a baseball or a tennis player hitting serves. And even in terms of caloric intake, they're burning up a large number of calories each day. So when we talk about somebody recovering from an athletic injury, or let's say it's a pitcher that had a sore arm, a lot of the things that we talked about yesterday with gout come into play as far as oxidative stress, inflammation, pain. I'll use myself, and we have pitchers that we work with, but I played tennis competitively, and I got to one point where I got tennis elbows so bad that I went down to Dr. Andrews in Birmingham and had the MRI done and found out that in my elbow, I didn't tear anything or break anything, so I didn't have to have Tommy John surgery, but I had this acute inflammation. And whether we're talking about the lactic acid buildup, or we're talking about a tennis player with tennis elbow, a pitcher, you know, that's arms gets inflamed, a lot of times we're talking about recovering, getting the nutrients back in, and recovering from something called oxidative stress. Now let's take that pitcher that has a sore arm. In fact, we went to a showcase 2 weekends ago, and one of the pitchers that was there with my son Ben couldn't even pitch that day because he pitched the day before and his arm was sore. Well, they put ice on the arm, and that's good because oxidative stress, a stressor on the body, results in inflammation. One of the first things that you can do, whether it's tennis elbow, pitching, use ice because it gets down the inflammation. But the next thing that I have individuals do is if they're trying to recover, I have them using healthy, ionized, wetter living water. Now, I'm pouring a glass of living water right here, and very often you hear the physical therapists and especially coaches say, hydrate, 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 hydrate. But if you've got something that's wetter than normal water, which living water is, if you've got something that can get into the aquaporins to totally hydrate the body, this oxidative stress or this inflammation is going to be relieved tremendously. So the first thing I'd have somebody do to recover is drink living water. Second, take in enough calories. Take in your fruits and your vegetables. Take in protein to help those muscles recover. Beyond that, it's hard to get those 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, so if it's an athlete with recovering, I would highly recommend Essentials for Life. Get those fruits and vegetables through your food, but if you're not, if you're traveling, make sure that you have a product like Essentials for Life. 2 more products that I'd recommend. We talked about this in the gout one, and that's Reflex, natural herbal anti-inflammatory. And then finally, one more to recover, and that's Royal Essentials. And Royal Essentials is a honey royal jelly product, and I would highly recommend anybody not to sweeten anymore with sweeten low, with artificial sweeteners, even with sugar, but sweeten things with something like Royal Essentials that has the honey, that has the royal jelly, that'll help you recover. So again, when we back up, some of the things that we saw in terms of an injury with oxidative stress, inflammation, and pain, we went through on the gout, and we're going to be going through again when we talk about aging gracefully. But if we can make sure that the body's hydrated, make sure we get the nutrients back in the body, alleviate that oxidative stress or inflammation, will help in terms of lessening the pain and helping the body recover.